Hi. So with this video, what I wanted to do is share a little bit more light on what myofascial is, the myofascial release technique, and what to generally expect when you come for a treatment with me. So I very much have been trained in lots of different modalities, so in massage, sports massage, myofascial release and Reiki, and also in a current training plan for visceral manipulation, which is working the organs of the body. So very much the modality that I really tend to use is myofascial, which is the connective tissue of the body, right down to the cellular level. So when we form in an embryo stage, it's these real primitive cells that form first is actually the fascia. So you can imagine as each cell has grown out from each other that everything is actually connected. So even our central nervous system, which is a tube that is formed very primitively, loops back onto itself, which actually forms the skin. So you can see by working the skin can actually affect the whole of the central nervous system. So what to really expect? So the part of my treatments and how I really see myself as a remedial therapist is to really understand the reasons behind the symptoms that people present them to me. So these symptoms can range from pain and discomfort from lower back, knees, the whole skeletal system. It can also be sort of anxiety, depression, to illnesses, sort of stomach pain, disorders, or generally not being able to sleep. So it can be from the whole mind and the body that people come to me with these symptoms. So as you can imagine, we are all unique as we are. So there isn't really a set way of actually treating a person because we are all unique and there's all a different type of tapestry that has happened through our lives. And that is what I really sort of connect to from the initial consultation where we talk and discuss aspects of your life where sort of problems or accidents to sort of stress, trauma that has come through in your life. And that forms like a story, like I say, a tapestry to me. But then what I also do is actually put that to one side and listen to the body, because the bodies will always know more than what we know, or that I will be able to communicate with your body. So the body will always know more. So it's about trusting and listening to the body. And how I do that is actually through connecting to the fascia from the top of the crown here, where I connect with the central nervous system. And that will draw me down to like the primary adhesions of the body, where it's causing sort of pain, dysfunction, imbalance of the body. Now, often we don't actually find that's where we feel the pain and discomfort. So for instance, if I take my top and say there's been an injury here, or trauma, heart, emotions, we draw like a tension. So it becomes like a tension little spot where the fascia and the tissue comes in like this web. And it draws these lines up around into the body, these stress lines, as you can see, which will actually start to cause pain and discomfort around the shoulders, around the behind the areas that have been pulled, because then what they are doing is they're contracting to protect themselves. So I could continue to work and massage in this area, but how it wouldn't necessarily give you long-term benefits. What you need to do is actually start to listen and follow the trail of the body to these tensions. So when you start to release these tensions here, these tension spots, scar tissue, it then releases the tension that we've got up here in the shoulders. So you can see how those stress lines released. And those stress lines can cause different forms of imbalance as the body tries to find its homeostasis, but it will constantly compensate to eventually that the body can't compensate any further. And this is when you get your pain and your discomfort and the symptoms that we're feeling. So my role really is to understand the whys, the underneath the layers, be it emotionally, physically, mind and body. So it's really about connecting. But a very important part of what I do is about creating a safe, supportive space for you when you come for my treatment. It's about knowing that there's no judgment, that you can be safe in your body, and to be able to really connect to your own body. Because quite often, pretty much most of us generally live up in here. We're up in our heads, and we tend to have disconnected and discounted the aspects of our body. So our heart, for instance, is 5,000 times the frequency of our brain. Our gut has 100 million neurons separate to the central nervous system. There's huge elements of intelligence and wisdom in our body, yet we do not connect to them. We don't connect to our instinctive ways. So it's about really connecting the mind and the body and feeling safe and in sanctuary in our own bodies to really allow the healing process to start. So that is probably like the most important aspect of myself as a therapist, is actually being able to assist and support you in your own healing. Because once you have this knowledge and this enlightenment of all the different techniques that you can do, be it breath work, stretching, meditation, walking, going out in nature, whatever it needs to do, whether it comes to, again, gut health, which is exceptionally important when it comes to our health and our well-being and our immune systems. I mean, once you're enlightened with this information, you feel empowered, and that is when you really allow this healing process to start, and you start to listen to your body. So this is really key, and that's how I work. And again, so it's really about working with the fascia, giving you that safe space that you need to really connect your mind and your body and your heart. And this is all done through the fascia. And the technique itself is actually a very gentle technique. It's about holding the body, so giving it that support, that love, that space. It's also working with you to breathe and connect to your body. And then it's just following how the body, where it needs to go, whether it's working the organs, working the nervous system, working the muscular skeletal system. But most of the time, to really enable healing to really start the process, is actually working on the central nervous system, which is a very gentle, again, technique. But this is exceptionally key, because what it does is brings us from our sympathetic nervous system, which is what we generally tend to live more into in our day-to-day basis. I mean, it's what we need to wake up. So it's not a bad thing, it's just how often we end up in it. So it's about bringing us more into the parasympathetic nervous system. And this is when the healing begins. And that is when all the other layers that start to unfold. So it's quite a deep treatment. Sometimes it might also be felt that much is going on, but it is the sort of the ripple, the oscillation effect that you get from working the fascia. So I hope that has given you a little bit more information about what fascial is. It's not facial, it's myofascial, which is this connective web of our miraculous bodies. They are absolutely amazing. So the more and more we can connect and start to listen to these miracles, the more amazing we can be. So hope that helps. Hope that gives you a little bit more reassurance, and if it resonates with you and would like a treatment with myself, please feel free to either contact me by telephone or by email. Or if you want to literally just speak to me more about what I do, that's no problem at all. Again, so I hope this has been helpful, and would love to hear from you if you feel that you need my help. All right, take care. Bye-bye.